Now tuned into the greatest.
Disciplining myself, so when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music, get control of your life. Don't let nobody else do it. Cause when I gon' have matching S550s cruising, feel like you winning on the ground.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Now, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. You can use the promo code The Run Podcast and save yourself $20 off your next ticket purchase, whether that's a concert, game, anything you want to use it for. It is basketball season and the playoffs is here, which is why I had to go ahead and bring in my special guest, Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. What's going on with you, man? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good, Manny. I'm glad to be back on. Every time we chop it up, we always have good conversations in the sports world. So I'm glad to be back on your show today with you, man.
Yes, sir, man. I'm excited to have you on, bro. So I needed some help with this playoff matchups, bro, because it's crazy. The playoffs matchups is insane.
Yes.
And let's take a deep dive straight into it because the first series that really caught my attention, and it's a couple of them. Obviously, my team finally back in the playoffs. So we love that. But this first series, the LA Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. Now, it's interesting to me because obviously the Denver Nuggets, they fired their head coach, Mike Malone. So they have an interim head coach in there, David Adelman. He's stepping up. He's been an assistant coach for the Nuggets for a long time. But I didn't really have faith for the Clippers to win this series until they fired Mike Malone, because now I just think the morale is going to be too bad. To me, the whole entire season, we've seen the Clippers, they continuously gotten better, and now they're going out at the end of the season and going into the playoffs, winning 19 of the last 21 games that they played, which is just insane. They're on an 8-game win streak, and now they go play a Denver Nuggets team with no head coach. So I had no shot for the Clippers to win it at first, but now I'm like, okay, maybe they will actually beat the Denver Nuggets. So that's where I'm at on that perspective of, like, I don't know who will win this series.
Yeah, this is going to be a good series. I actually agree with you because I still feel like it was a silly choice for the Denver Nuggets to fire Michael Malone 4 or 5 games away from the playoffs. That's something you don't do. But I like the Clippers in this series. I actually have them winning in 6. I think it'll go to 6 at least. But I like the Clippers playing on both ends of the ball well. Like you said, they've won their last 19 out of 21 games. A healthy Kawhi Leonard is a problem, in my opinion, for the Western Conference. James Harden is starting to cook up as well, so he's playing pretty good. A lot of people don't talk about it, but Jeff Van Gundy has assistant coach for the Clippers out there in LA with Ty Lue. They have played really well on the defensive end of the ball this year. So I think with all those intangibles and all those reasons why, I think the Clippers are going to get past the Nuggets in 6.
Okay, I'm not mad at the 6. I'm not mad at the 6 games, and I think it can happen because, like you said, Kawhi Leonard, when he's healthy, man, he's a dangerous player. And obviously, he's finally getting into his routine. He's getting settled in again. But James Harden has been on a tear as well throughout the season. Now, the thing that concerns me is obviously you got to consider this one factor. Some dude out there with the Denver Nuggets named Nikola Jokic. Like obviously, the Nuggets don't have a coach right now, but I can't help but to think, like, Nikola Jokic is kind of like an on-court coach. Like, this dude can do everything. So that does concern me, honestly, when I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, because I think Nikola Jokic, like you said, he's like one of those players that have that basketball IQ like a LeBron. I think when I watched them play Wednesday night against the Sacramento Kings, he actually, during a timeout, was talking to his players, actually writing plays on the clipboard. So he's one of those players that can still play the game at a high level, but coach his team as well on the court. But Nikola Jokic is definitely going to be a problem for the Clippers. They're not going to be able to contain him or shut him down. That's just not going to happen. But I'm looking at the other role players for the Nuggets. Can Aaron Gordon step up? Can Michael Porter Jr. step up? Can Jamal Murray step up? Can Russell Westbrook coming off the bench step up? So these role players and starters have proved in the past for Denver. But I want to see what they can do against this Los Angeles Clippers team that is basically hot as a forest fire heading into the postseason.
This is so true. You know what they say about Jamal Murray? They say he only step up big when he play the Lakers. If he ain't playing the Lakers, they say Jamal Murray ain't stepping up and he ain't really making nothing happen. So with this matchup, I kind of want to focus on the matchup wise now. On paper, looking at the roster, I kind of side with the Clippers as well, but I've done that in the past, and it never really made a difference come postseason. I think they have a slightly deeper team than the Denver Nuggets. But like you said, if Murray can step up, if Gordon can step up, if Michael Porter Jr. can step up as well, then obviously the series, might be different. But to me, in order for the Clippers to lose this series and the Denver Nuggets to win this series, we're going to have to see some crazy performances out of Nikola Jokic. I think that's the only way it gets done in 7 games, or even less than 7 games if the Nuggets are going to win this series, because Clippers are great defensively and they obviously have been figuring it out on the offensive end. So I think if there's a slight chance that the Nuggets do win, it's going to be because Nikola Jokic is giving us triple doubles after triple doubles after triple doubles and making history and history and history. I don't see it happening any other way.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point because, yes, it's phenomenal to average a triple-double like he did in the regular season, but you're playing like basically every other night in the postseason. You got to be available, and if your legs aren't underneath you, you're not going to have much success in the postseason. So if they drive Nikola Jokic to the ground, have him at least play 34, 35 minutes a night, I mean, he's used to it, of course, but I don't think that's a recipe for success to drive your best player into the ground, and you need your legs underneath you for the postseason.
This is true. It's not sustainable, and we've seen that with the Knicks, which we'll explain that series and talk about that series pretty soon. But we've seen that with the Knicks last year. Is Tibbs gave the guys so many minutes, and they played so many minutes throughout the series that by the time they even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals made it to the next round, I should say, they were already beat down and bruised up and couldn't even continue on the fight. So it's like you don't want that same thing to happen to the Nuggets. But either way, I see the trip ending right here with the Clippers, man. I would be shocked, and it's going to be a team effort guarding Jokic. It's not going to be one player that can just shut him down. They're going to have to really just center the focus around Nikola Jokic to stop him from scoring the ball. Because, I mean, he's too great of a player to just let somebody go 1v1 with him. And then, obviously, if Porter Jr. isn't knocking down his shots and Jamal Murray isn't giving those spectacular performances like he does against the Lakers every time they match up, then you might be in luck if you're the Clippers, because you don't have to worry about, other players that's really igniting for, 30 points and 40 points. So I think it's a good thing here. But I think we both can also agree to Clippers probably win this in 6 games is what you said. And then I'm going to go on record and I'm going to just say for this series here, man, I'm going to go Clippers in 5, man. I ain't even about to waste the time. Yeah, I'm going Clippers in 5, bro. Like I'm not going to play around. I think Clippers win this in 5.
That ain't a bad take at all, though.
I think they get it in 5, bro. They got it figured out. And they've been hot. Team morale is, bro, it's an underrated aspect, bro. Like, team morale is huge when you talk about going into the playoffs and, carrying on some momentum. Like, you think of the momentum that the Nuggets are carrying over. They're carrying out, okay, we got to figure out how we going to do this without our actual head coach. We got to they're trying to figure it out. Versus where the Clippers are looking at it like, we have it together. We have it figured out. We got to make sure we stay sharp on this, this, and this. So, it's going to be interesting to see. But that does bring me to, a thought of some of the play-in games. So we'll jump into the play-in games. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll jump into the play-in games really quick. All right, so the play-in games is happening. The play-in games is the start off. Actually, they're coming very, very soon, actually. I think this is the first games. We get them tomorrow? Tuesday? Yeah, so we get the playoff games very quick. Your team, the Miami Heat, is in the play-in games, and they'll be playing the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to say my thoughts on this, and I wonder what you're thinking about the Chicago Bulls in the Miami Heat series, or not even series, just play-in game.
Yeah, man, this is a mess. The Eastern Conference is atrocious compared to the Western Conference. I mean, when you talk about stacked teams and how the race went for the Western Conference compared to the East, a team like the Miami Heat, nearly 10 games under 500, should not even be in playoff contention at all, even in this play-in tournament.
This is facts.
But I got the Bulls winning. Go ahead and end the Miami Heat season. full of misery and disappointment. I mean, the Bulls, don't get me wrong, they actually have been red hot. They won their last 10 out of 13 games.
Yeah,
they've actually swept the Miami Heat this season, winning the series this year 3-0. So I like what I'm seeing for the Bulls this second half of the season. The ball movement from Josh Giddey, I feel like it's not being talked about enough.
This is facts.
Kobe White has stepped up. Nikola Vucevic is playing well, and the Miami Heat have truly declined since Jimmy Butler has left. I think they're like at the bottom tier of points per game offensively in the league, which is somewhere you don't want to be after trading your star player. So I got the Bulls winning this play-in tournament game.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, man. I think, Miami Heat, they obviously still have skill over there. And that's one of the things that drive me crazy about the Miami Heat is they have skill. Like, Tyler Hero is good. Bam Adebayo has been playing at a great level, probably the best that he's played since he's been in the NBA. But yet they cannot win games and close games out. So that's the one thing that drives me crazy about the Miami Heat. And that might just come back to bite them in the butt when they play the Chicago Bulls. I think you made a great point there talking about how they haven't beat the Bulls literally all season, which is wild to me. But also it's like, they got to be able to close out games. So now you go in a play-in game, possibly trying to get in the playoffs, but you got bad morale. You ain't been playing good, but you play a team that you haven't beat all year. And that's scary. You never want to be on that side of the equation when you talk about potential matchups and possibly getting in the playoffs. So I'm definitely I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bulls, man. They just been playing good basketball too, so I think I got to side with them on this.
Yeah, and it's not the end of the world for the Heat. I mean, this is what happens when your star player gets traded midway point through the season. It's been a bad relationship.
This is facts.
But also, it's a good thing because that gets their hands in the pot for some type of luck for the lottery. They possibly have a top 10 pick, or even get even more luckier for the NBA lottery coming up. So you already know, even if they get past this play-in tournament game, they're getting swept either by the Cavs or the Celtics if they were to make it out. So just go ahead and end it Tuesday, Wednesday night, and just take it from there.
You said you've seen enough, bro. You ready to just stop the bleeding and just wrap it up with the Miami? I get it, bro. Look. People forget, man. I've been a Pistons fan all my life. So I've seen the worst of the worst. I've been at that point. So no, I definitely get it. And the credit to Bulls, man, I gotta give them credit because Josh Giddey, he's been on another level and he has not been getting the credit that he deserves. It's insane to me because the man almost put up a quadruple double and nobody even made a sound about it. So it's when a player is playing that good and he's doing his thing to that level, it has to be acknowledged. And I think, I would love to see them at least get into the playoffs after, a season where everybody was doubting them and nobody even paid them any attention. But it would be a lot of promise for the Chicago Bulls if they could get into the playoffs. And for the Miami Heat, I think it would be helpful for them to go back to the drawing board and really figure some things out and sit down and think like, okay, where do we move Bam? Are we going to keep him? Are we going to keep Tyler Hero? Like it causes them to think. And this, to me, it would almost do the Miami Heat better if they did lose this play-in game because they have a lot of talent. They just got to figure it out. And I think if they go in and they lose, this could be helpful for them.
Yeah, and you made two good points for these teams moving forward. The Chicago Bulls have always in the Eastern Conference flirted with the idea of being a play-in tournament team, and they're always in the mix for that. And it would be nice to see them if they can get 7th or 8th spot. Well, they have to get the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. So it'd be nice to see that. And for the Miami Heat, the talent, it's not the end of the world this year. The talent is still there. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, but you got to have another solid piece or another veteran player that can help this team elevate moving forward if you're going to build around the young players of Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo moving forward.
Yeah, this is true. To me, I thought they could have got more in return off the Jimmy Butler trade, but obviously they had to just do what they had to do because Jimmy wanted to go. The relationship just seemed to be getting worse and worse as time went on. So, I understand that you got to just take the guy you can get and keep it moving. But I'm still on the side. Talent-wise, Miami Heat should win this play-in game. Talent-wise, they should win because they have more talent on their roster than the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, they got some good guys on there. And like I said, they've been playing great as a team. But I think if you go personnel wise and you look at the sheet and you see what this guy's done in his past and all of that stuff, a common person would go with the Miami Heat. So part of me, I am going with the Chicago Bulls to win this play-in game, but I still think the Miami Heat will win, man. I don't know why. Even it's weird. I don't know why. I just got a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know, but we'll see. We got more stuff to jump into. So we'll take a quick break. Here's what we're gonna do. We got some more stuff. Obviously, we gotta talk about my Detroit Pistons because they're about to win the NBA championship. Of course, we gotta mention them. And I gotta hear your thoughts on that series with the Knicks. I should have brought the rest of the guys on from your show. I should have had them on too. I'm gonna have to do that next time because yeah, man, we always have a fun time when we're on the hop. So
yeah,
that's cool. I should have brought them on too. And yeah, Well, all right. Anyway, look, here's what we'll do. We'll take a quick break, play a couple ads, and then we'll be right back with another playing game and also a playoff game and a playoff series to talk about. But right now, we'll take a quick break, and it's halftime. We'll be right back.